Xiao Yan, the 9 stars Do Huang, stood up for Nalan Yanran, lending his support, and astonishingly, he directly slapped away a 7 stars Do Huang with a single palm. Continuing from the previous episode, Xiao Yan, having qualified for cultivation in the Tianshan blood pool alongside Nalan Yanran, discovered that Mu Qingwan from the Falling Star Pavilion was actually a disciple of the Dozun of Wind. Promptly, he invited her for a conversation. Mu Qingwan was momentarily taken aback by the invitation, considering they had only just met and weren't particularly acquainted. However, recalling Xiao Yan's efforts to undermine the reputation of the Wind Lightning Pavilion, she harbored some goodwill toward him and thus didn't refuse outright. Mu Qingwan inquired, "What can I do for you? May I ask if the Dozun of Wind is indeed your teacher?" Xiao Yan asked. "Yes, that's common knowledge." "Is that what you wanted to ask?" she replied. "Do you happen to know the current whereabouts of him? Who exactly are you? And why are you looking for my teacher?" "As a disciple of an acquaintance, I've come on behalf of my master to seek out the Dozun of Wind." "An acquaintance? Which one?" Mu Qingwan pressed for more details. Xiao Yan couldn't help but look conflicted at her question. After all, he had never met the Dozun of Wind and was unsure of his character. Though Elder Pill had assured him of the Elder Wind's trustworthiness, Xiao Yan, now more mature, was cautious in his approach. "Well, you will know in due time. But it's not convenient to discuss it at the moment," he replied carefully. Mu Qingwan shrugged, not overly concerned. Given the strength of the Dozun of Wind, Xiao Yan's intentions, if dubious, would be futile. She then explained that her teacher often traveled far and wide, making encounters rare. However, there might be an opportunity to meet him in 3 months' time at the Wind Lightning Eastern Pavilion, as they would be hosting the 4 Pavilions Conference, and the Dozun of Wind, as the head of the Falling Star Pavilion, would naturally attend. Upon hearing the exact news about the Dozun of Wind, Xiao Yan's heart raced with excitement. Although the Wind Lightning Pavilion had officially become his adversary, and with the presence of Fei Tian from the Northern Pavilion, along with the masters of the other 2 pavilions, and the Dozun of Thunder, Xiao Yan knew it was a formidable gathering. However, if Elder Pill's words held true, then the odds of purging the demonic toxins from his body and rescuing his father and Elder Pill would increase significantly. Therefore, despite the Wind Lightning Pavilion being akin to a lion's den, Xiao Yan resolved to venture forth. Seeing Xiao Yan's determination, Mu Qingwan refrained from further discussion. After thanking her, Xiao Yan turned and flew back to the stone platform. Meanwhile, the challenge of the Soundwave Array was nearing its end. However, to his astonishment, 3 more individuals had succeeded in reaching the summit in this short time. With 9 successful participants now, but only 8 spots remaining in the Tianshan blood pool, one among them would lose the chance to enter. Shortly after, Jinshi led Xiao Yan and the others to the location of the Tianshan blood pool. What appeared before them was an immensely vast volcanic crater, with a small pool of several meters in size at its center. However, Jinshi explained that this was not yet the peak of the energy tide. They would have to wait until it reached its climax to enter. Furthermore, within the Tianshan blood pool lay a heavy concentration of fire poison, growing more potent the deeper one delved. Hence, they could only remain inside for a maximum of 3 days. Otherwise, the fire poison would seep into their bodies like maggots on bones, nearly impossible to eradicate without the aid of advanced alchemists. As Xiao Yan glanced at Jinshi, a sudden realization dawned on him. No wonder he had always sensed a lingering injury within Jinshi. Perhaps it was indeed related to this fire poison. After casting a glance at everyone present, Jinshi spoke slowly. "Additionally, there are now 9 of you here, meaning one of you cannot enter the Tianshan blood pool. As for who that may be, you'll have to decide among yourselves." With his words, the atmosphere instantly grew tense. Apart from Feng Qinger and her group, the rest stepped back, their gazes around them carrying a hint of wariness and caution. Jinshi paid no heed to their reactions but instead led Xiao Yan to a stone pavilion near the Tianshan blood pool. The gray-clothed elder who called himself Jin Gu, standing beside the Tianshan blood pool, grinned when he saw Xiao Yan approaching. Jin Gu asked, "Young lad, do you know why you were summoned here?" Xiao Yan replied, "Is it because of the injury within Jinshi's body?" Jin Shi inquired, "You can discern the injury within me? The fire poison has penetrated deeply, even into the bone marrow. Such profound fire poison is rare to encounter, making it extremely difficult to eradicate," Xiao Yan explained. Hearing Xiao Yan's diagnosis, which echoed the observations of some higher-tier alchemists before, both Jin Shi and Jin Gu's expressions darkened considerably. Seeing their disappointment, Xiao Yan spoke slowly after a moment of hesitation. "Though it's challenging to remove, it's not entirely impossible." Upon hearing this, Jin Shi abruptly stood up, staring intently at Xiao Yan. "Mr. Xiao Yan, can you truly expel the fire poison from my body?" Xiao Yan merely smiled in response, not giving a direct answer but instead casting a meaningful glance toward the stone pavilion's exterior. Both Jin Shi and Jin Gu were momentarily puzzled, but then seemed to understand something. After a brief hesitation, Jin Shi clenched his teeth and spoke in a low voice, "If you can completely remove the fire poison from my body, I will give you an absolute opportunity to enter the Zong level." It turned out that while the Tianshan blood pool could break through bottlenecks, the odds were not favorable. Moreover, its effectiveness was limited to those at the peak of Huang level, whereas Xiao Yan had only recently reached the 9 stars level. Therefore, attempting to ascend to Zong solely through this method posed a considerable challenge. Xiao Yan harbored some concerns about this, but he valued the Tianshan blood pool greatly. Otherwise, he wouldn't risk coming here, potentially falling into the hands of the Wind Lightning Pavilion. However, Jin Shi explained that although most of the energy would gather within the blood pool during each tide, a small portion would infiltrate the deepest parts. Despite being scarce, this energy was exceptionally pure due to accumulation over time, yet it was also where the fire poison was most concentrated. Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help but furrow his brows. Even with Jin Shi's strength, he couldn't withstand the erosion of the Tianshan fire poison. "How could I, merely a 9 stars Huang, resist?" Jin Shi responded, "For others, indeed, venturing into the depths of the Tianshan blood pool is perilous. But for you, with heavenly flames, it shouldn't be too daunting a task. While the Tianshan fire poison is stubborn, it holds no sway over heavenly flames." Xiao Yan raised an eyebrow at this, as he hadn't revealed his heavenly flames since entering Tianmu Mountain. Sensing Xiao Yan's doubt, Jin Shi smiled faintly. "The sense of smell of our gold-eating rat clan is quite keen. This isn't the first time I've encountered heavenly flames. Naturally, I recognize their distinct aura." With that, he tossed Xiao Yan a dark golden rat skull. "This is the key to enter it. Only with this can you gain access." After Xiao Yan stored it in his storage ring, he promptly thanked Jin Shi. "If I truly manage to break through to Zong here, I'll take on the Tianshan fire poison within you, Jin Shi." Jin Shi nodded. "Very well. You should head back now, the energy tide is nearing its peak." Xiao Yan stood up, clasping his hands towards the two before turning and flying towards the volcano's mouth. Watching Xiao Yan's departing figure, Jin Shi couldn't help but sigh. To him, this opportunity was discovered by their clan first, and they suffered greatly to open it up. Yet now, they were letting an outsider taste its benefits first, leaving him somewhat uneasy. However, Jin Gu, who was standing aside, voiced his opinion. "While it's indeed a treasure trove, it's also a deadly peril. Even with Jin Shi's strength, he ended up in such a state at the bottom of that blood pool. For others, it would likely mean instant death. If it weren't for meeting Xiao Yan this time, you probably wouldn't survive 3 years. If those 7th grade alchemists from the Central Plains were hired, the cost would surely be higher than hiring Xiao Yan." Hearing this, Jin Shi chuckled and glanced slowly towards the volcano's mouth. "Originally, I intended to use the bottom of that blood pool to cultivate strong individuals within our clan. But now, it seems we need to reconsider." At the mouth of the volcano, there were 9 people present despite only 8 slots available to enter the blood pool. Consequently, a man in white proposed ranking them according to strength, aiming to have the weakest, Nalan Yenran, withdraw. Upon hearing this, the other 8 individuals stirred, but none spoke. Nalan Yenran furrowed her brows slightly. "It's indeed challenging for me to reach this point with my strength. But since he went through the trouble of bringing me here, I can't simply withdraw." "Xiao Yan could make me withdraw, but you can't," the man in white retorted, "relying on others. What skill is that?" Letting the Tianshan blood pool become someone else's playground, that's not a wise move. At the harsh words from the man in white, Nailin Yanran's pretty face turned icy, and her vigorous Do Chi surged out from within. Before she could act, a hand gently rested on her fragrant shoulder. Seems like the conversation isn't going too well. Seeing Xiao Yan suddenly appear, the man's complexion soured. However, under the scrutiny of the others, he couldn't back down, only forcing a smirk. She didn't reach here by her true strength. Shouldn't she give up her slot? Xiao Yan glanced around slowly, his gaze carrying a hint of danger. Does anyone else share this opinion? Under the subtly threatening gaze of Xiao Yan, no one dared to reply. Seeing this, the man in white sneered. There are only 8 slots, yet there are 9 of us here. Before he could finish, Xiao Yan appeared before him like a ghost, his fist, like thunder and lightning, slamming directly into the unprepared man in his chest. Instantly, the latter spewed blood and flew several meters backward. Xiao Yan gazed indifferently at the limp figure in the distance and said slowly, "Now there are only 8.